Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Team Inspire versus Team Wunax, and I'm going to show you a quick little hype video before we hop into the video.
Your 2024 TCG/OCG Yu-Gi-Oh! World Champion is Ruben Piñaranda!
Well, Landon, you got 2 rings, yet when it comes to the world stage, you still finished 12th out of 28. And while we're on the point of talking about the world stage, Chris, how you been playing for over 10 years? You got 6 wins, yet you've never been able to convert to play on the world stage.
That game, Crystal Block is our YCS champion.
Just wanted y'all to remember who the GOAT was. I got more rings than all 3 of you.
Yo, Chris, you got 6 YCS wins, like 30 tops, and you still can't get your King's Channel past 2K subs.
Our IronMan team is up here, and you guys are down here. All 3 of us went to Worlds this year.
You know, we live for formats like this. We beat up 2 bombs and play young DB Grinder. We might never top again.
Hey, good luck, Team Inspire. It's gonna be a hard time with all these YouTubers on y'all's team, but it is what it is.
I got a question for Chris. How come you never been to Worlds after playing infinitely longer than I have?
Get game! If you do not answer, then we come to you champion. He's your champion!
Oh, and DB in your scene, let me know when you're trying to join the classroom.
Alright, now that I've showed you that, let's hop into the match. So we have Yes, I'm Adrian, which is Ruben, the current world champion, versus Crash Out Landon, who also went the Worlds and has won 2 YCSs this last season. Also, make sure to check out Team Wunax's YouTube channel link down below. Make sure to check out Team Inspire's YouTube channel down below. And make sure to check out Dueling Guard down below and use code INSPIRE for 5% off all your purchases. And then let's hop into the matches now. We'll go ahead and we will just see them talking a little bit crazy, you know, and then we'll go ahead and see Ruben win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and then they'll decide to go first. 43 versus 43. We have Lurie, Sword, X'd, Valor, Sword. They have X'd, Fualos, Talons, Bonfire, and Lubellion. Oh, that hand is so good, especially when you have no out to Fua, because that means we're not going to be doing too much. And then they have infinite pushes. So they just drop Fua in the draw phase to play around Talons. Then we just go main phase. Special summon X, which, to be fair, we could have done this a little bit different here, because if you see what we do, we just go X, search node, special sword, sword effect goes search. I'll talk about the alternative line in a second. Then we search ice, overlay, make detonator in defense to play around Druis. They draw on the Druis, and then, okay, go ahead, attach, pass. So what we could have done is we could have started with normal summon sword, sword effect. In case they had Valor or Imperm, they may have stopped that. So, I mean, we just didn't give him an opportunity to, like, use Imperm on Sword. Pass to draw Lacrima. Like, we could have just baited a hand trap because we have so much engine in hand anyways. We don't need the follow-up. Then they go activate Bonfire. Okay. Grab out Ice Ryzeal, which tells us that they most likely have extra Ryzeal in hand. If they continue, like, once they normal Lacrima, now we know extra Ryzeal's in hand. So I felt like that was a really weird way to start the turn. They were just hoping that we'd ash the Bonfire. But yeah, we didn't ash the Bonfire, so now we have a lot of information on the hand. They go Lacrima effect, we go Detonator effect to pop. They dump Engraver, Talons to look at hand to rip the effect Valor out of there. Then they go Lubellion, go search Bestial Magma Mutt. Now here, they're going to go Engraver, shuffle back Lacrima, special summon out. Sure, then make Requiem, so they used Lubellion before to double check if we had Ash, because like we'd probably Ash that, so they went ahead and checked with that. But now they're gonna go Druis Worm, target Engraver, so banish, special summon out, then tribute, bring out Lubellion, Druis Worm to out the detonator. Also, how many summons are they on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I mean here we just detonator pop Lubellion because we can't really pop Requiem. So go ahead and just pop that. And then here, we could Mirror Logic, but it's not going to change anything. I still think we probably should have, just to force them into it. But now they go Requiem, Tribute, bring out Lacrima, and then Requiem effect to equip, special summon Ice by getting rid of the Requiem, overlay into Duo, and then Duo effect to go ahead and detach and search. And then I'll grab out the Ryzeal Cross and the Node Ryzeal. And then activate Cross, special X by dumping Twin, X effect goes search, grab out Sword Ryzeal, and then special summon out Sword, Sword effect goes search, grab out Ice Ryzeal, and then, yeah, nothing on resolution or anything there. Like, that's fine. I mean, we would have dropped Nib on Duo. Then they go in the Detonator, Detonator effect to attach Twins of the Eclipse, special Node, and then Bestial, Banish, special out, and then effect to search during the end phase, and then battle phase, proceed to go for game. And then on to game number 2, we'll go ahead and see Ruben go first. And then opening hands, we have Valor, Talent, Strike, cross out Nib, so we bricked. They draw Nib, Fua, Bestial, Magma, Lacrima, Sword. And here I'm like, yeah, just say, like, you know, main phase is that good. And then they drop Fua, and it's like, nice, because now they just wasted a card because we couldn't play. Obviously, if we had, like, a starter in hand, we'd be able to, like, cross out this, get hit with another hand trap later down the line, talents them, but that's just not how it played out. So we go set 2 pass, they draw Engraver, and then normal Lacrima effect, and we strike it to try to keep them off of Engine. Now, here is a little bit weird because they go Engraver effect, and personally, I think we should have cross-outed the Engraver, but they said no, we want to holding our cross-out for our next turn. But I think if we were trying to hold cross-out for our next turn, we should have left cross-out in hand, because it's too easy to out if it's set. There's way too many ways to out it. Either they set up like a Detonator, and now it's easy to pop this and force its use early, or they can Desiree send it. They can Chaos Angel banish it. There's like multiple ways to like get rid of this card. So now they go tracked. We say okay. Go ahead, grab out Lurie, discard Lurie, summon itself out. Sure. So summon 2, and then anything on res, nope, and then make Requiem. And then now they're gonna go Engraver effect, shuffle back Lacrima, special summon itself out, and then Requiem effect, tribute go special, bring out Lacrima, and then yeah, so that's fine there. But now they're just gonna make Chaos Angel, and then they have Chaos Angel effect to go banish the cross out, and then we chain cross out calling Talons, because now, like, you know, we're gonna hand trap our opponent, we don't want to get hit with Talons afterwards. I feel like we could have also just like crossed out of the Engraver and prevented them from being able to set up Lacrima trap and forcing the cross out anyways later down the line. Because now we're just giving them like a bunch of engine to work with. Then they're going to go Bestial, and yeah, this is also banished from the Chaos Angel. Banish Lurie, special summon out Magma effect to search during the end phase, and then battle phase swing, sure. And then try to go end phase. Then during the end of main phase 2, we drop Nib to give us an extra body to try to play with next turn. Also, the Chaos Angel does not leave there because it was made with lights. Then they search Baldrake, pass, we draw Ice, which is broken. And then we go main phase, normal Ice, Ice effect, bring out Sword, Sword effect goes search, and then Sword's going to grab out X Ryzeal. Now, here on resolution, they go Lacrima effect, put back, summon out Requiem, and then no quick effects. They go Requiem effect, tribute, bring out Lacrima effect, go dump. Then they just dump Engraver. So that means they sided out the trap card, which I just want to say is crazy to do. Like, you should always be leaving trap card in. That card is so good. That card is so good to not keep in your deck, even going second. Like, I know it's a brick, but like, better draw it. Better draw it, because it comes up so many games. Banish to summon Baldrake, and then, banish the Magma, summon out Baldrake, and then here, they think very hard on what to do, and it's end up Talents take control, to take control of the Baldrake. Because we felt like we wanted to wipe the board. Maybe there was a different way to approach this, though. Maybe it was just like Ice beat over, Nib beat over, Talents look at hand, see what you have, try to rip an interruption out of it, and then continue to play in main phase 2. But it's also hard because we're only at 500 life points. So being at 500 life points is like really tough. It's really easy just for them to eventually attack over something for game. Like, we'd have to get rid of Nib for sure, otherwise Chaos Angel beats over it. Or we'd have to have like Duo Drive with the increase-decrease to be able to survive that attack. So we go take control, take the Baldrake, and then use those to go into Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel banish Lacrima, and then special X by dumping, which, yeah, this was just done incorrectly for sure. Like, the Talents taking, I don't even know if that was correct, but we definitely should have made Moon. Then we could have went Moon, Requiem, Lacrima dump. and then we'd still have access to special X and still have rank 4 set up, but we'd also have Fiendsmith cards in rotation. So here we go duo, and then on summon effect, and then duo to go search, then they chain nib. And yeah, we're just out of there at this point. The game's just over, because even though we still have Chaos Angel, it doesn't even matter because they have Fiendsmith stuff engrave, and they also have Sword in hand that we don't know about. But we have Valor, so we were always trying to hold Valor for sequence. That was always the plan for this card. Pass, they draw Druid's Worm, and then go main phase, Engraver, shuffle back Requiem, special summon out. They don't have Lacrima in rotation anymore. Engraver into Requiem, Requiem Tribuco special, bring out Engraver. Then they have Requiem effect. Okay, well, they go Druid's Worm here, that's fine. Banish, special summon out, and then link off to summon out sequence, and then Druid's Worm effect, go ahead out the token. Sequence effect, we Valor it, and then now they have normal summon Sword, which it does make you think, if there was ever a world where like we had set up Lacrima into trap, like maybe the game could have gone differently. Obviously they had Druid's Worm in hand, but like we weren't even forced to summon Lacrima when they had Engraver on field. Like that wouldn't matter. So then they have to summon Sword first, then we can Valor them, but then on resolution we'd probably try to go for Lacrima, get hit with Druid's Worm, and then lose anyways. But like, you know, the game could have been different, especially if we used our talents a little bit differently too. So this game was like probably winnable, and we probably threw it. I'd have to actually like look over it further. I'd have to look over it a lot more in depth. Then summon Agnumde, summon out the Engraver, effect to equip, and then just battle phase attack over for game. Because this is at what, 6,000 attack. So beat over. And then GG. Okay, so up next is me versus Crash Out Landon. So yeah, obviously, like, you know, the best player in the entire game, multiple world time, you know, been the worlds multiple times, topped a lot of YCSs last year. Landon went the worlds last year, won 2 YCSs last year. But okay, yeah, I just have to wait for my teammates grabbing their snackaroonies. And then I win the rock, paper, scissors shoot, and I go ahead and go first. 44 versus 43. I open Cross, Ext, Ash, Paradise, Imperm. They draw Imperm, Sword, Nib, Tract, and Bonfire. So go main phase. And then here, yeah, just thinking about exactly how we want to play this. We go Special X by dumping Detonator. X effect, grab out Sword. Then Special Summon Sword. Sword effect goes Search. And that's fine. Go ahead, grab out Ice Rizio from the decks of the hand. Activate Cross. Overlay into Duo Drive. Duo Drive effect to attach. Duo Drive effect to detach and go Search. The Impermit, which is like, sure, that's fine. Because, I mean, we already have Cross. So it's not like we're actually losing that much here from our opponent having Imperm in this. So now we can go Ice into Sword. Then we overlay, make Detonator, and then set Paradise, set Imperm, pass to draw into another copy of Nib. So they could have used Nib, but all it would do is make us detach a material from Duo, which doesn't really do a whole lot there. Then activate Tract. Tract, go ahead, add Lurie, and then discard Lurie. Lurie effect, special summon itself out. Sure. Then they go Lurie into Requiem, and then Requiem effect Tribuco special, and then we cross-negate it, which also allows us to play around talents. And technically you don't have to declare this. I just declare it on DB because it just makes it more simple for everyone to understand what's happening. I'm cross-negating. Then activate Bonfire to go Search, and now we Ash Blossom that, which does suck a little bit, having Ash Blossom that, because we are playing in the talents, but we do not want them to start popping off, especially with X. X being able to go ahead, special, dump Aggregator, try to shut down Detonator, go Search, forcing us to interact with them there. Then they go normal Sword, Sword effect, and then here we go Detonator to pop, and then Chain Imperm, and then they just submit defeat. So on to the next game. We'll go ahead and we'll see Crash Out Landon go first. We have Ash Blossom, Imperm, Ghost Ogre, Ice Raziel, Imperm. They have Bonfire, Imperm, Ice Raziel, Bonfire, Engraver. You know, both players here are opening very good. You know, sadly, we only have Ice Raziel and they have Imperm. So no matter how much we stop them, it all relies on the top deck. But here they go normal Ice effect, we Imperm it. And then they go Engraver effect, sure. Grab out Tract. And then activate Tract, we Ash it. Bonfire, go ahead, grab out the X Raziel, and then special summon out X Raziel by dumping the Detonator. X effect goes Search, grab out Sword Raziel, Then they overlay into duo drive effect to attach, duo drive effect to detach and go search. We ghost ogre that, and then special sword effect. And then here we say okay. If they had dumped Twins of the Eclipse prior, which they wouldn't have done because they didn't want to play in the nib, but if they did dump Twins of the Eclipse prior, then we would have impermed this, because otherwise this leads them to detonator attached twin, and we can't really deal with that with what we have. I mean, we can, but we'd have to, play pretty poor to do that. So now they go special summon ice by discarding, and we also knew that they would special summon ice here to go ahead and make the detonator, which also takes another card out of their hand. And then detonator effect to attach, set imperm pass, we draw Veiler. So now we just go main phase, imperm the detonator, normal ice effect, they imperm it, make Typhon to bounce, and then battle phase swing, and now we have big body plus Veiler versus no setup at all. They also went through their duo drive too, which is just going to be a one of. And then pass, they draw Lacrima, which is like, it's such a good card to draw. That's so broken there. Like, obviously, like, Ryziel engine, we could just Veiler it. Non-engine, it doesn't do anything. But, like, the Fiendsmith engine's so good. So they go Lacrima, dump Engraver, and there's no point of us Veiler in this either. They already have Engraver in rotation, and they haven't gone through Requiem yet anyways. So now, from here, they go ahead and turn Lacrima into Requiem. And then they have Engraver, shuffle back Engraver to special summon itself out, and then chain Requiem. So they're just checking here, because if we interrupt either of those, then they can summon the other Engraver in defense position if they'd like. But I guess that was just never happening, right? I guess they were just always summoning an attack and trying to get damage in. Yeah. Requiem effect to equip, sure. And then effect to go ahead and send. That's fine. Then they go battle phase, swing, and then they're able to set up the DDD Wave High King Caesar, which is pretty good in a simplified game state like this. And you have Lacrima and the Requiem and the trap, so you have follow-up, DDD, pass, we draw Tract, which doesn't do anything versus the DDD there. Like, we can go ahead, search Lacrima, summon Lacrima, dump, then what, right? We dump Engraver effect, they can stop it. Then what, Requiem goes summon, they can stop it. Then we have, like, Lacrima set up Engrave, but our Lacrima is just not beating them, like, for sure there. So here, we decide to set Veiler and hope they make bad mistakes, or hope they only have 2 Engraver in deck, which I know is like crazy things to ask for, but sometimes you just have to hope that they really have nothing. Because if we just pass with an empty board, like, it's just too easy for them to go for game. They draw X Ryziel, and then go Requiem effect, Tribute go special, bring out Lacrima, and then Lacrima effect, go ahead, dump the Engraver, and then, yeah, the whole team's like, yeah, just admit defeat, it's game. It's like, yeah, that's fine. On the game number 3, we have Imperm, Ice, Node, Nib, X. They have Track, Druisworm, Imperm, Nib, and Node. So we go main phase, normal Ice, effect, go ahead, special summon out X effect goes search, grab out the Sword Ryziel. Then we overlay into Exceton Knight, go into Requiem effect, Tribute go special, bring out the Lacrima effect go dump, and then dump the Engraver, Requiem effect to equip, and then we go Engraver effect, shuffle back Exceton Knight, special summon itself out. Then we can go ahead and make the Necro equip Princess, overlay into DDD Wave High King Caesar. Now we can still continue to play from here. We have special sword effect, go search out Ice Ryziel for the follow-up, and then dump Eclipse Twins to special summon out X Ryziel, overlay into duo effect to attach, and then we have duo effect to detach and go search. They go activate Nib, chain DDD, chain Imperm, yeah, go ahead, wipe the board, and then 5338 token. Yeah, it's a token stat that you gotta get used to. And then special node, it's like the Snake Eyes stats. Like, I used to know the Snake Eyes stats by heart. And then special node, and then node effect, discard Ice to special back out sword. And we're okay with getting rid of our follow-up here, because we have Fiendsmith follow-up, and we'll have Twin of the Eclipse follow-up too. So we summon out the sword, and then they're thinking here, which tells us that they don't have Baldrake. If they had Baldrake, they would for sure drop it. So we're thinking that they probably just have another Bestial in hand, and they want to drop it now before they have the opportunity to lose Nib. So we actually read that they had Bestial at this point. So we summon out Detonator effect to attach, and then they go Chain Druisworm, target the Eclipse Twins, And then we go Chain Detonator to pop Nib. So summon, banish, and then attach out the detonator. Doesn't matter what we attach there. Then set Imperm, pass. We summon this in defense to play around them being able to Jerusalem crash. They could have also summoned the token in attack position, which would have allowed them to be able to crash the Jerusalem and out the detonator themselves. Then they draw Engraver. Activate Track, sure, that's fine, because we can play around this very well. They add Lurie, discard Lurie effect, and then now we can go in response, Chain Detonator, and then Detonator pop Jerusalem, and now they summon back Lurie, and now if they Jerusalem effect to pop, or to send, we can Chain Detonator to pop Lurie, so that puts them in a little bit of a weird spot. So they go Jerusalem, go ahead and target the detonator, then we just go Chain Detonator, pop Lurie, and it's like, sure, that's an interaction I'm fine with. Then they go activate Engraver, grab out Tract, and then now we're going to go Lacrima on Resolution, so that way if they try to summon Engraver, we can just send the Engraver. So bring out Requiem, Requiem effect, Tribute, bring out Lacrima, Lacrima effect, go dump the Paradise. And then Engraver, shuffle back, special summon out, then Paradise, banish, Desiree effect, shuffle back, send, out the Engraver, normal summon out node, okay, make Typhon, then Typhon effect to bounce, try to bounce the token, but in response to the effect we just imperm it because we know everything they have, so we just know we win. We have the Fiendsmith follow-up and a huge token on field, so that's just game over. Then GG's, yup, and then, okay, then said who's next, and it's Cookie that's up next. So now we have, me, an insane player, versus CookCG, which I know they have, I'm pretty sure it's at least a couple YCS tops. I know that they topped before. So, okay, now me versus them, and we will go ahead and we will see me win the rock, paper, scissors shoot, and then I will decide to go first. 44 versus 40. Opening hands, we have Nib, Ash, Ogre, Jerusalem, Veiler. They have Imperm, Ash, Jerusalem, Imperm, Bonfire. So, out of the 10 cards we've drawn, we've seen 9 non-engine. And we also brick. So, yeah, try to go main phase, try to, see if they drop Charmy. They don't, pass, and then they draw Sword. And then, that's actually a really good draw. Now they go activate Bonfire, and then we think hard here about what we want to do, if we want to stop this or not, and we do decide to go ahead and Ash the Bonfire. Then they go normal Sword, Sword effect, we Veiler it, then they just go Battle Phase, swing, and it's like, this is fine, then they go ahead and pass turn, draw into a Sword of our own, which is really good because we have Sword that'll bait Imperm, we have Jerusalem that'll get us to Fiendsmith stuff. So we go normal Sword effect, they Imperm it, then we go ahead and activate our Jerusalem during the main phase, which can also bait them in the Talons. So banish, special summon out, battle phase, beat over, and then attack directly. Go ahead, do that now. Out those while we can, or out the Sword while we can. Then go Moon, Requiem effect, tribute go special, they Ash Blossom it, and then just pass turn. Then they go ahead and draw into Bell for turn, which is very interesting that they're playing Bell. Maybe they just tried to build a list that was good against Malice, but they also played Bestials, so it's like, I'm not 100% sure if that's what they were trying to do. But they might just be playing like one Druis, one Magmamont. Now they go Druisworm, Banish, and yeah, we don't know if this is the top deck or not here. We assume that it is the top deck, because otherwise they could have summoned it last turn to try to Fiendsmith combo us. So then they go Banish the special, and it's like, sure, bring that out. Battle phase, swing for 25, trying to apply pressure. Set Imperm, pass, draw on the Node Ryziel, and then we have Node discard the special back out. And you can see here that we were just like, okay, so we assumed that Druisworm was the top deck, right? Because otherwise they would have Fiendsmith comboed us. So here we're like, okay, the set card is for sure a bluff. What bluff would it be? Fiendsmith and Paradise. That's what the set is. That's what we assume the set is. Based on how the gameplay was. So then we're like, okay, yeah, we can just normal summon Node, and the Node effects should resolve here, unless if they have like Veiler. They also had Bell too, so they actually had multiple ways to deal with the Node here. So normal summon Node, effect, discard Ogre, try to summon back out Sword, then they Imperm it. It's like, wow, okay. So pass, they draw Small World, and then when they activate Small World, we know it's pure. So activate Small World, and yeah, it was just very interesting. So, well, like, we kind of started to assume it, because we were like, okay, so does that mean that they had Druid Worm in hand before and decided to not summon it? Because they wanted to Druid Worm, like they knew that they couldn't Druid Worm banish and then do anything with Sword plus Druid Worm. So we already started to have, like, a pretty good hunch that it was pure, and then Small World just, like, guarantee tells us that it's pure. So they go Bell, Veiler into Ice, and then normal summon out Ice, Ice effect goes special, go ahead bring out the Sword, Sword effect goes Search, grab out Extraziel, and then they could just say Battle Phase there, but they actually show us that they play Chaos Angel, and then Chaos Angel, Banish, and then Battle Phase go for game. So now on to game number 2. I'll go first, hopefully not bricking again. We have X, Bonfire, Cross Out, Talon, Sword, definitely not a brick. They have Ash, Ice, Bonfire, Fualos, and Phantasma. So they allow us to go to main phase. Then activate Bonfire, go ahead, grab out the Ice Raziel. And then normal summon Ice effect, they Fuwa, we chain Cross Out, go ahead, prevent that. Summon out X, X effect goes Search, and then that'll grab out Node Raziel from the deck to the hand. And activate Talons to Peep. And we think about this for a while on what exactly we want to hit here. And then we go ahead and hit Ash Blossom back, and then decide to just play pure Raziel and not go into Lynx. That way they can't even Phantasme. Because, I mean, we could have Exceton Knight and then go into Requiem, and then they go Phantasme, we go Chain Requiem. They only draw 1, put back 0, because we don't control any Lynx. But we're just like, okay, we could just play pure Raziel. So we go ahead, Duo Drive, search out Cross, search out Ice, and then now we have the special summon out Swords, Sword effect goes Search, grab out X Raziel. Then we have Dump Mirror Logic, special summon out X, because the Mirror Logic will be nice to have in the rotation here. Because they can go normal Ice effect, and then we can detach Mirror Logic and make it to where whatever they bring out won't work. I don't know if it should have been that, though. Maybe it should have just been Twins of the Eclipse and set that up. Node, send Duo Drive, special summon out Ice, activate Cross, go ahead, put back. But I was going to say, if we do that, though, like, we don't get cross draw. So there's, like, upsides and downsides to Twin of the Eclipse there. We draw a Veiler off that, which is huge. Like, drawing any non-engine there would have been huge. Overlay into Dweller, overlay into Detonator. Detonator effect to attach. Pass, they draw another Phantasme, which sucks for them. And then we Dweller to play around X. Now they go Bonfire. Grab out X Raziel. Then special summon X by dumping Mirror Logic. They go X1 Mirror Logic 2. And I go, can't Mirror Logic, you're under Dweller. But think in response to the X effect. And then here, we go ahead, and I'm pretty sure we Detonator pop it, and then cross negate it. So go ahead and double stop it, then they go normal summon Ice, Ice effect, and then we have Detonator to attach Mirror Logic, pop, special node from deck, Mirror Logic, shut down node. Then it doesn't really matter what they have at this point, because even if they go like special summon Sword, go Search, sure, just Veiler what they bring out. If they just make Detonator pass, it's fine, we still just win the game. So that game's just over. And then on to game number 3. We'll go ahead and see Cookie decide to go first. Opening hand, we have Ice, Ash, Perulia, Ghost Ogre, Fualos. They have Shifter, X, Bell, Druid Worm, Ice. So, like, Shifter is crazy. Shifter is crazy work. I don't know what to say. Shifter's crazy work. So during the draw phase, we just drop Perulia, the one that you have to drop during draw phase. Then they Shifter us in main phase, and then normal Ice. We draw on the Ash. And then here we decide to Ashless because their only extender is Sword. And it's like, okay, even if they go like special Sword, we draw off Perulia, we drop Fualos, we still draw 2, draw for turn. If they Small World into it, sure, that's even better for us. You're spending infinite cards to set up a Detonator. We really don't want them to set up a Detonator here either, because our deck can't really do much under Shifter. Like, it's literally just Detonator. That's both of our decks. That's the only thing we do under it. So they pass, we draw on the nib, and then, yeah, we just go main phase, normal Ice, hope it resolves, hope they don't have, like, an Ash of their own, because they can't Veiler us. So Ice in the Sword, Sword effect goes Search, grab out Ice. Technically, we could have went Ice into X in the Sword, Sword goes Search out Ice, and then that would have given our detonator one more material. But I think that we didn't want to go through too much of our engine there, which I'm not sure if that's correct. I think it would have been fine to like go through one of our X's there, just to get another material onto this detonator. And then battle phase, swing over ice, and then try to pass, and they go Druid Worm, banish, special summon out. Sure. They draw on the sword, and then go battle phase, attack into the detonator, Druid Worm out detonator. Main phase 2, special X, dump Twin of the Eclipse, and then they go X effect. And we go, okay, let's think about this. We know that they don't have sword in hand unless they top decked it, because last turn they probably would have special summoned it out and attempted to make a detonator, which would have been like pretty strong. So we assume that they don't have sword in hand. So we're like, okay, we can just Ash this. So we go ahead, Ash it, and if they special ice, like, unless if they try to keep it like very simplified and just go detonator pass, like we could still Fua them, draw for turn, and then we still have ice plus 2 draws versus detonator, and they would have had to discard the card in hand to special the ice. Well, I guess they would normal ice, right? I'm tripping, yeah, because they have a normal summoned, yeah. Okay, so if they normal ice effect, then we can chain Fua and still draw multiple times. Then they go sword effect, we would draw 3 times there in that scenario. So they go sword effect, we say sure, grab out Ice Ryzeal, then on resolution, drop the Fualos, sure. Then now they overlay, they make a Babuska, we draw on the Bonfire, which Babuska's crazy because we could just have a Fiendsmith card, we could have Bonfire, we could have X'd, we could have Imperm, like there's like infinite things that just beat this card. So Pastoral, Druid Worm, like the fact that the Fiendsmith on top of those other outs beat this is just, you know, crazy work. So Bonfire, grab out X Ryzeal, and then now we could just go dump Mirror Logic, special X, play Pure Ryzeal, and then just go for game. Even if we end up getting hand trapped and don't go for game, like we still have non-engine, plus we're like, you know, setting up detonator at the bare minimum. So GG, and then who's next? And then I start sending the broom emotes, you know, getting them ready. So now we have, you know, Boss with Hamas, you know, Dragon Duel national champion, you know, once got top 64 at a Philly YCS, you know, also once was, you know, top 1000 on DB versus Crystal Blanc, who is a like 6-time YCS champion, 0-time Worlds attendee. And then we'll go ahead and we will go ahead and see a tie, and then we win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, which I just want to say, when it comes to rock, paper, scissors, shoot, we literally outskilled them. We outskilled them like crazy, which obviously in real life, you don't have like outskilling in dice roll. But in rock, paper, scissors, shoot, there actually is a little bit of skill to it, which is, you know, maybe why we won all the rock, paper, scissors, shoots. But to be fair, we also did, like, brick twice up until this point, which kind of sucks. We have Lacrima, Sword, X, Fua, Imperm, and also one of the games we got hit with Fua when we had 4 engine, and then they had like 5 engine and a Talons. Then they had Nib, Bonfire, Sword, Paradise, and Node. And then go main phase, normal Lacrima, which we were thinking back on it. Maybe we should have just normaled Sword, hope that they hand trap it, then special X and continue playing. But we decided to Lacrima, and then Lacrima is able to go ahead and dump us Paradise and get that in rotation. And then special X by dumping Detonator, which I still think this is like a fine thing to do. But there is a chance that they stop the Sword, which means that they won't be stopping Duo. Duo effect to attach, Duo effect to detach and go search. And then that'll go ahead and grab out the Ryzeal Cross, and then grab out the Node from the decks of the hand, and we just leave Lacrima under it. We want the Ryzeals engraved. The Lacrima will get engraved later whenever we cross negate. So now we go activate Cross, special Node, and then we have Node to discard Fua to special summon back out X from the graveyard. We could have gotten hit with Mr. Bestial. Maybe we should have summoned Sword first when we had Lacrima X'd. summon sword after that, and then overlay with Lacrima sword, and then detach the sword, and then we can summon that back out to play around Bestial better. Now we go summon detonator effect to attach, special sword effect goes search, grab out the Ice Ryzeal, and then get rid of duo to special summon out ice, cross effect to put back and then draw. Draw into a Druis Worm, overlay into Abyss Dweller, and then set imperm, pass, end phase, activate nib, and then we cross negate it. Yeah, they just wanted one less pop on this, which we don't have talents to punish them. Then pass, they draw Bestial Lubellion, so we go activate Dweller effect, and now they go activate Bonfire. Bonfire, grab out the Ice Ryzeal, and then they go res anything. Nope, normal ice, ice effect, and then here, we decide to detonator pop it, and then cross negate in case that they have talents to take. But like, it does suck that they drew Lubellion for turn, because now we can't stop that. Like, where if we imperm, then we could have cross negated that. Now they go Lubellion effect, go search out Bestial Magma. And once I see that, and they were on 43, and Landon was on 43, I assume they're playing the same list. So now they go Magma effect, banish Lacrima to special summon out, which also shuts off the Fiendsmith in Paradise. So summon out Mag, and then Magma effect, search during the end phase, and then we go hold up. On resolution of the effect, Druis Worm, banish Lubellion, so that way they can't set up regained, because otherwise, you know, we have to imperm the Lubellion. Now they go special sword effect, and here we thought on this for a while, because if they had a level 4 extender, we get punished very hard if we imperm this. But if we don't imperm this, then they are able to search X, battle phase, crash into detonator to out their Magma, and then X is able to go ahead and search, and that grabs them node, and now this starts setting up multiple rank 4s with, like, no matter what we do. So we think about this for a while. But it's like, does it even matter if they set up multiple rank 4s if we just imperm the duo? Because they're going to make detonator first and then duo next. So if they go detonator, attach Magma Mutt, and then summon duo effect to... Does that even matter? I'm trying to think. We just imperm the duo. They go, like, yeah, before they use the effect of search, and then they go detonator effect, pop, cross, out, Dweller, detonator. Leave us with Druis Worm, which can still out their detonator. So maybe it was still just correct to, like, let this go through. Because they also have to play correctly, right? They don't know the card in hand, because we X-search sword and we already had another sword, so it's technically 2 blanks right now. They pretty much can assume that the set is imperm, though. So here, we huge think on this, and then we end up using imperm onto the sword, battle phase, attack over the Abyss Dweller, and then main phase 2, set Fiendsmith in Paradise, pass, which we know this isn't imperm, because they would have imperm detonator, so we know this is either Fiendsmith in Paradise or Bonfire. So it's like it's pretty easy to read sets in the mirror match. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, if you're trying to bluff Fiendsmith in Paradise, like, it's not gonna work if you're playing against, like, people who actually can, like, read game states well. So now they go end phase, search out Druis Worm, pass, draw Fiendsmith tracked, and then here we have multiple options. We have cross draw, we have sword, we have tracked, we also don't have Lacrima, and we know our opponent has Nib, Druis Worm, and this set is not real. We know the set's either Paradise or Bonfire 100%. And the last card in hand we have no info on. We just know that it is not like an Ice to special summon. We know it's not like a Ryzeal engine card that's an extender. So the last card in hand could be a few different things. Could be, you know, a hand trap that they top deck to last turn. So now we think infinite here. And shout out Yassine, because Yassine was the one who came up with this line. Add Lurie, discard Lurie, Lurie effect, special summon itself out. If they Bestial us there, then we could just go Fiendsmith line with this, and then go into DDD, and that forces out Nib. Otherwise, they let this go through, and then now we're able to go ahead, link off into Moon, and then Druis Worm, go ahead, send, link off, summon out Requiem effect, tribute go special, bring out the Engraver, then Requiem effect to equip to the Lurie. to try to make the Necro equip, and then DDD, which beats Nib plus Druis Worm. So now they go ahead and Druis Worm, banish the Requiem to bring itself out, and then now we can use those to go into sequence. And technically on Druis Worm summon if we wanted to. Nah, I don't think it makes sense. Never mind. I was going to say, we could have actually Fiendsmith in Paradise to dump another Engraver to play around another Bestial, but we know they don't have another Bestial, otherwise they would have summoned it last turn and tried to Fiendsmith combo us. Well, I guess it wouldn't be combo, because they were under Dweller. But they would attempt to at least set up, like, the Lacrima Requiem. So now cross, put back, sword plus node before, you know, we put these bad cards back in our deck. We draw Bonfire, which is like, cool, that's nice. Sequence effect to put back, and then summon out the Desiree. And then now we can go Desiree plus sequence, link off, and then summon out the Agnumde. And then we have the Desiree effect to go ahead and activate, shuffle back, and then send. Now, we know the set is either Paradise or Bonfire, but we can get rid of the monsters anyways, so we still send the set card. Because of the odds of it being Bonfire are technically higher than it being Paradise there. And if it is Paradise, we also can just out it and it doesn't do anything anyways. Like, dumping does not matter off this card at this point in time. So they probably felt nice about us outing that, but we practically knew what it was at that point. Now we're going to go Agnumde, attack over Sword, and then effect, summon out the Desiree, and then attack over the Druis Worm. And then they go Druis Worm effect to out the Desiree, which is actually good for us, because now we can go special sword effect goes search, grab out X, and then our X will be able to search too, because we don't have Desiree on field. So special X by dumping Eclipse Twins, and then we go X, Chainlink 2, Eclipse Twins, Chainlink 1, which will summon out Detonator, which makes Cross live. So if they chain Nib here, to try to do it before Cross can be live, then that's fine. We can still summon back out from the graveyard, and then we can actually summon, like, Dweller, and then we still have rank 4 set up, so we can still make Detonator, and then we can like Dweller them again. So here we go ahead, search out Sword, and then special summon out the Detonator, attach the Dweller, Detonator effect to attach, overlay summon Duo, Duo effect to attach. And here this was a mistake. I was not supposed to search off of this, so I grab out Node X, but I wasn't supposed to search because now when we go end of main, they activate Nib, and we have to detach off Duo, which we should have just had another 2 materials on this. So it would have made the Nib be completely obsolete. Now it actually traded with something. Now they draw Sword for turn. They go Special Sword, which we know it's the top deck. Well, I guess we don't know it's the top deck, right? They could have had it in hand. I'm pretty sure they hand shuffled. Yeah, they hand shuffled. So we didn't know that was the top deck. Special Sword effect. Then in response, we just cross to negate it, and then they admit defeat, and then on to the next game. But yeah, that was a pretty bad mistake. The Duo drive, that could have definitely costed us the game. Now we have Bonfire, Ash, Magmamut, Perulia, Engraver. Crazy hand. They have Sword, Fua, Lubellion, Paradise, Lubellion. So we go Standby Phase, drop Perulia. Then they go Lubellion, and I really wanted to Ash this, because I was like, look, Magmamut cooks. I was like, I do not want to deal with Magmamut. And they were like, oh, but you get punished by another Bestial. And I was like, I mean, not really, because it's not Magmamut. Like, they would have to hard draw Magmamut. And they were like, no, just save Ash. Save it for the engine in case they end up trying to play. Save it for Fiendsmith, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we have Magmamut, which deals with Fiendsmith. If they go for Ryziel, we Perulia draw a bunch. So I really wanted to Ash this, but, you know, my teammates were yelling at me not to. Which ended up, like, really paying off here, because they had Fua. Which none of us were even thinking about Fua, because this is just a one-of in the deck with crossouts, so you're not really trying to play around this that hard. Pass, draw Imperm, then go main phase, activate Engraver, Engraver go ahead, search out Tract, then activate Tract to go ahead, add Lurie, discard Lurie. But I guess it also like somewhat makes sense to not stop this, because if they go normal ice effect, and then they go like in the Duo, like, I mean, we kind of want to just, like, have Ash for Duo, because we wouldn't have an out to it then. Well, I mean, technically, we would have drew in the Imperm off Perulia, but obviously you can't calculate for that in that spot. Then we go ahead, summon out Lurie. We actually have a lot of outs to Duo in that spot, to be honest. We have a lot of outs to Duo. Because we also play Ogre, Valor, Imperm, but I guess we already would have won through Ash. Nib wouldn't have worked. I guess it's not too many outs. Summon out Lurie, they Fua, and then we Ash, and now we go Lurie into Requiem, and then Requiem effect tribute go special, bring out Lacrima, Lacrima effect go dump, and then that's going to go ahead dump Paradise. Requiem effect to equip to the Lacrima. Engraver effect shuffle back goes special, and they Magma Mud us now before we can DDD. And then Magma Mud effect to search during the end phase. And then that's fine. Activate Bonfire. Bonfire goes search out the X Ryzeal. Then dump Detonator special X. And then X effect goes search. Grab out the Sword Ryzeal from the deck to the hand. And then we overlay into the Duo Drive. Duo Drive effect to attach from the graveyard. Duo Drive effect to detach and go search. They would have nibbed us there to prevent us from being able to search cross, but we actually sided out cross, so that wasn't even an option. Go ahead, search ice, search node, and then now we are able to, because like we haven't had Duo Drive come up in any of our game 2s yet. I think at a YCS, I think I would go back and forth on having cross in my deck and out of my deck. So that way my opponents don't understand how strong my Duo Drive is, because otherwise there's arguments to let this card resolve in some spots. So I think I would go back and forth on having it game 2s and game 3s. Just that way my opponents don't have reads on me in top cut. And like, I don't know. You can also argue to keep crossing anyways, especially with us playing 44 cards. And then special summon node, because the cross is always the nail on the coffin if the Duo Drive resolves. It's like almost guaranteed game. Node, discard Imperm, special summon out X from the graveyard. That's fine. Now we're able to go ahead and normal ice. Ice effect goes special, bring out sword. They said res, but we know they're capping. We know they don't have it, otherwise they would have done it in response to Duo. Now overlay, summon Abyss Dweller, and then special summon out sword, and then now overlay to make detonator. So now if they activate Druid Worm, we have Dweller to beat Druid Worm. We have Detonator that can pop Magma Mutt in response to Druid Worm. We have Fiendsmith in Paradise that can go ahead and send. So we have a bunch of outs, and we have Magma Mutt that's able to beat over their Magma Mutt. So now we play around multiple Bestials. So now if they have like Druid Worm plus Sornier, which I guess would never come up really there, right? Like they wouldn't be playing Sornier, they would have Baldric, and they would have already summoned it. But if they summoned Baldric earlier on, we could Paradise to go ahead and out it anyways. So now we just go Battle Phase, yeah, go for game, and then, yeah, I send the Broom, GG's, you know, a little sweep, and then, yeah, they were drawing Ash for turn, so they were in a pretty poor spot anyways. Actually, they weren't drawing that for turn, right? If they did survive, because they had Magma Mutt Search. So, yeah, GG's. And then that is going to be it for the IronMan. And yeah, GG's to Team Wunax. Team Inspire is just it's too strong, you know. We're just too inspirational. And yeah, that is going to be it. And I'm going to leave a little thing at the end of the video there so you can go ahead and read it. And with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.